What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's officially 2 weeks since I attempted to run a 3 hour marathon, sub 3 hour marathon, and failed. And I'm here to update you a little bit on what's going on, some of my focuses, how I'm moving forward, all that fun stuff. I'm going to try to keep it short. I don't want to be rambling on too long, but I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you aren't subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of the videos coming up. So normally after a marathon, I focus on taking at least 1 week off of running completely, training, all that stuff. I did that, which was needed, as it's been quite a long time since I've not been training for a marathon. And this is going to be a little bit about what I'm going to talk about as I transition into what I would call my off season. But if we look back, I've basically been in marathon prep since like February of this year. I prepped to run the Mississauga Marathon, so that was a big block building up to that. I probably took a period of maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks out of like actual prep, and then jump back into another marathon prep, heading into the most recent marathon that I just ran. So it has been a ton of training for me, which I absolutely love. But now I think it's time to transition and just take a little bit of a pause and focus on a couple things. The first thing is getting healthy. So since running the Toronto Marathon, I've been dealing with a little bit of leg pain. I'm not exactly sure what's going on. I know I'm a physiotherapist, but trying to figure that out, but I was feeling it going into the race very slightly, nothing concerning at all. Ran the race, and then after the race, it was a lot more sore than I anticipated. I took the week off, hoping that that would help. It helped my muscles, my legs felt really good, felt recovered. But I went to run with our run club, the Movement Run Club, and I noticed the spot in my thigh coming back the second I started to run. So this was a bit concerning to me. There's one thing that comes into my mind that is definitely something you don't want to mess around with, and that is a bone stress or a stress fracture. Not saying that is what I have, but my clinical brain is going off a little bit. So I'm slightly concerned that there might be something there, which I could break down a little bit more for you guys in another video explaining like why I think that and how I'm going to manage it. Maybe I will do that. But for now, my main focus is going to be taking a little bit of time off running. So I haven't really run at all since the marathon, except for that one time with Run Club. And I'm probably going to continue to take a little bit of time off, at least the next 2 weeks, most likely. The good news is, since taking the time off running, I've felt a lot better. The discomfort is not necessarily bothering me. It's moving in the right direction. So I think the rest, regardless of, what is going on, is going to be a good thing. And that is leading me into the next kind of phase of my off season, which is going to be focused on getting back into some strength training. Strength training has been a massive part of my life since I was literally in high school. I am biased to strength training. I love it. I did bodybuilding style stuff. I did CrossFit. I've done strength conditioning. It's always been a big part of my life. And I would say this marathon prep is probably the longest stretch of time that I've had off of consistently strength training. I took probably about a month off leading into the race, something that I normally don't do, but I was just feeling really tired and fatigued from all the volume and training of marathon prep that I really couldn't muster up the strength to strength train, which is something that I want to adjust heading into like future marathon builds, but this was all a learning experience. So a big part of my focus from now until I get into my next marathon prep is going to be on strength training. So I'm back doing a group strength class that I've done before, which is super awesome. So I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to dabble in a little bit of high rock stuff once this leg feels better. That's something that I've always been interested in. I did a little high rock challenge earlier in the year and had a ton of fun. I've done CrossFit for years and years, so that style of training has always been something that I enjoy. So I'm probably going to dabble in a little high rocks just to keep like some conditioning up, have some fun. And then once my leg's feeling better, I also will get back into doing some running. But priorities for this off season is to get back into some consistent strength training, focus on a little bit of body composition stuff for myself. Always goals going on in the back of my mind around that. But I do think working on that will also lead to some more success down the road when it comes to my running related goals. So that's the big thing that I'm transitioning into next. The other thing I wanted to bring up is that I've been struggling a little bit with transitioning post-marathon prep. Like I said, I've been in marathon prep mostly since February. One of the things I love about running and I love about training for a marathon is the consistency in the programming, the routine. You get to see yourself go from not being as fit as you want to being the fittest that you probably ever have been. And it's very tangible to see, and you can stack those bricks. I love that. I love the structure. I love the consistency. It's one of my favorite things. Now, when that ends, you're left in the dark a little bit. And I think that's what I'm struggling with the most, is like going from being consistent, being disciplined, being focused on one singular goal from a physical standpoint to now not really having that. And I've tried to establish a new routine, and it's been a bit of a struggle. I think there's a few things involved with that. Coming off of a marathon and all the training that I did, there's a ton of mental fatigue that comes with that. So I think I'm battling through that over the last 2 weeks, where I'm feeling mentally fatigued. I'm physically not maybe in the best position that I want to be. So I think that's causing me some trouble. The other thing is like not having that anchor of training on my schedule. So now I'm trying to reestablish a new routine of when am I going to strength train? When am I going to get some conditioning in? What does my nutrition look like now that I'm not consuming a shit ton of calories to fuel all my long runs? What does the extra time that I have look like? I want to get back into reading more. I want to get back into writing more. I want to get back to maybe making some more content like this. So it's really trying to like structure all of those things into a new routine. And that can be overwhelming, even for someone like me who I thrive on that. I've done that for a long period of time. I've just spent almost a year focused and consistent and sticking to a plan. Doesn't make it any easier to establish a new habit or a new routine. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is I know you're someone who's watching this, has gone through this, is going through this maybe with running, where they're trying to establish a new routine or a new habit of running or reading or whatever it is. And it's hard, and you're failing, and you're not doing well, and you're questioning why you're doing this, and you're getting frustrated with yourself. I can relate to that, and I'm going through that right now, and I think it's actually a really good thing for me to experience this, because it reminds me of some of the things that I used to struggle with a lot before I learned how to build habits and learn how to build routines. So that is probably a struggle that I'm going through right now. I'm working on that. If you're working on that, reach out to me. Let me know what you're working on. Maybe we can figure it out together. But that is a little bit of the post-marathon life for me right now. With regards to like putting out content and making vlogs, when I'm not in a training block, there's not as much for me to film. So I'll probably share a little bit with you of like my strength training journey and doing some high rock stuff. But I might not be as consistent with the vlog style episodes, just because I'm not in a training block. And that's what really motivates me and gets me going from a creative standpoint to put out these videos. But I do want to keep sharing stuff. I have some ideas. I might start a running related show on my YouTube channel where we're talking with other runners. That might be a good way for me to keep, putting some content out, having fun, and talking about running, which I absolutely love. I do have some big goals still. I'm not going away from the goal of qualifying for Boston. I'm going to have a couple big races on the calendar, for next year. I haven't really shored those up yet, but don't worry. I will be back. I will be into marathon training. The train is going to keep on rolling until we qualify for Boston before I'm 35. That's the goal. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, for supporting the channel. If you guys aren't following me on Instagram, head over there, follow me, daylano.93. Follow me on Strava. I'll still be updating my Strava with all the fun stuff that I am doing. And then make sure you guys subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on any of the future videos. Hope you guys are pushing yourself. I hope you're working through establishing a new habit, because I am. I hope you're getting after it. I hope you're digging deep. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.